Welcome to Totally Random Horror. I'm Tom. In this series, I randomly select a horror film between 1895 and 1989 and review it. Episode 13 now, we find ourselves in 1918, and this is the first episode of the first serial to be covered in this space. Sit back and relax and get ready for The House of Hate, Chapter 1, The Hooded Terror. I researched the usual places for information. The idea to include this film came from the book Horror and Silent Films, a Filmography, 1896 to 1929. The first chapter of The House of Hate, entitled The Hooded Terror, was shot in the US and released on March 10, 1918, and another episode was released every week until July 21st, for a total of 20 episodes. The serial was produced by Astra Film and distributed by Pathé Exchange. It was directed by George P. Seitz. It is silent, black and white, a serial episode, not rated, with a runtime of 34 minutes. Chapters 1, 2, and 5 are available on Serial Squadron's YouTube channel, and Chapter 10 can be downloaded from the Internet Archive. At SerialSquadron.com, there is a link to purchase the entire series on Blu-ray for $12.95. George P. Seitz wrote plays and directed films. He was primarily known for his work on serials that tended to be action and drama-oriented, and this is his only work with overt horror elements. Pearl White stars as Pearl Walden, maybe so she wouldn't forget her name. She had been an actress since age 6 and was a big name in serials by the time she was recruited into The House of Hate. White had suffered a horrible spinal injury 4 years earlier while performing a stunt for another serial. This injury would lead to her abusing drugs and alcohol to treat the pain, and she would die of cirrhosis of the liver in 1938. She was 49 years old. Antonio Moreno was a Spanish-American stage actor who starred in a lot of serials as the Latin lover character. The film also stars John Webb Dillon as Haynes Walden, Paul Clerget as Ezra Walden, and Peggy Chenore as Naomi Walden. Time for the review. First, the non-spoiler review. A mysterious man in a black hood known as the Hooded Terror threatens the owner of a munitions factory. After leaving his company and fortune to his daughter Pearl, he meets with an untimely demise. Now everyone in Pearl's family, and some people outside of it, have a vested interest in seeing the girl meet her end. Since I only watched the first chapter of House of Hate, I don't have the full perspective of the series to make a judgment, so I'll stick to what I've seen. Someday I may randomly return to this serial and cover the second chapter. House of Hate Chapter 1 is 34 minutes long, and at least 10 minutes of it could be edited out. The last act of the program is great, action-packed, attention-grabbing, thrilling, but the first part, the setup, takes too long. Showing how the characters behave when they are introduced is important, but when their behavior is mundane or has no impact on the plot, it slows the episode down to a dull slog. I can't recommend watching all of this. Skip to the end if you want to see what this show is really about. It's creating a cliffhanger to make you want to see the next episode. If you intend to watch the whole serial, you probably want to know the characters better and should probably watch this whole chapter. Now the spoiler review. What makes this horror? It's a prototype to The Stalker. There's a person in a black costume with a hood hiding in your study, waiting for that quiet moment to kill you and then disappearing without a trace. This version of that character isn't scary by any means. Most people will watch this unflinching. It's a castle. A man rubbing his own hands in the study breaks a picture and snatches up a knife. He seems very wary of getting caught, and his evil plan seems to be writing a letter. But he gets ink on his hand. He senses someone coming. Oh my God, he's hiding from Mom in the McDonald's play place. How embarrassing. He's hiding from Winthrop Walden, but I'll call him Pop. He's the dad of Pearl and the owner of the munitions company. A very severe expression. We are introduced to Butler. Hello, Butler. Bye, Butler. Coast is clear, bub. Why didn't he write the letter before he came to Pop's house? He leaves it on a plate. This villain is comical. He's playing games, hiding, leaving notes, not very threatening. We're introduced to Pearl, who has a death grip on a bird. I can't tell if that's a real bird or a fake bird. Well, what am I saying? They're all fake birds. But she loves that bird. She loves that bird. Then a good boy jumps in and she has to hold it back from bird murder. and she roughs up that pup. What is going on here? She's manhandling these animals. Jeez. She does love that bird. Pop tells Pearl she's got to get married so she can have a man support her in her life. Pop's got a necklace. Looks like a whistle. Butler's gonna have a nip, but get this. The hooded hoodlum gets his attention and points down at the letter. Like he can't wait for them to find it. Like a kid. Come on, Butler. Pull the curtain open. This could end right now. The threat of a choke causes the butler to go tell on the hooded terror. And Mr. Sneaky hides behind a secret panel. Then Pops comes to investigate. Finds the note. Gadzooks. Pop sees the broken frame, so now he's packing heat. I guess he's a munitions king, so no surprise. Seeing this grown man try and fit through that doggy door is fun. And the exit is in the garden. What is that statue made of? Looks like someone could easily kick that door in. No one ever figured that out, huh? Now we meet Harry Gresham, who loves Pearl and does science stuff, and Pearl brings him flowers. Then we meet Ezra, Pearl's uncle, and he's washing his hands and rubbing them together. Is he OCD? Is he washing off ink? Man, they wore their pants high back then. That's like up under his rib cage. We meet Haynes, Pearl's cousin. He's filing his nails and he jabs himself. Oops. Then he bends the file like it was the file's fault. We meet Naomi, Pearl's other cousin. She seems vain. But what a dream. Why are you looking at the camera, Naomi? Naomi. Pops tells Harry about the letter and says to get the detectives. Then there's this long family meeting where Pearl is granted ownership of everything if Pop dies because she's the only one who doesn't wish he was dead. No one, not even Pearl, seems satisfied with this arrangement. Here come the dicks. Random boy. David Brent, head dick, pops in to visit Pops. Are you hiding something? Well, I can't tell you that. And also, Pops will wait until tomorrow to tell the whole story. There is a secret in our family. Yeah, the secret is you're boring. And what's keeping ya? Why did you even call the detectives if you're not going to spill the tea? Brent leaves. Just in case you forgot he was here. Look at that big bullet. Or shell. Oh, that ammo. Now for the most effective part of the episode. This is a classic suspenseful stabby death right here. Then the killer throws the knife at the portrait of Pearl. The body is identified. Everyone's a suspect. The house is being locked down until the killer is found. Everyone returns to their rooms, but there's someone hiding in Pearl's. A knockdown dragout ensues, and at one point the horrible horror clumsily falls on his behind and Pearl nearly escapes. The hooded terror wraps Pearl up in the curtain and carries her out. Harry finds a suspicious car parked nearby. The man driving it masks up. Whoops. And Harry gives chase. Looks like Pearl is thrown to the floor and goes unconscious. The suspicious man apparently knows of the secret exit as he meets the hooded terror there to scoop up Pearl. But Harry shows up and they have a straight up wrestling match. There's a cop on a bike and a shootout, and let's talk about this. The gas tank gets shot 3 times and the car does not explode. What is going on? What kind of a movie is this? Then suspicious man steals the bike and makes the poor choice to drive over a roadblock. Oh, enjoy that road rash, buddy. Geez, he must be in great shape carrying that dead weight all over the place. This action is shot very well. Suspicious guy takes Pearl to the factory. Look, it's episode 2. Dude is leaving her to be crushed by a cauldron of molten metal. While these 2 guys watch, what will happen? Then the episode ends. So that's The House of Hate Chapter 1, The Hooded Terror. This reminds me of another horror film, a whodunit where everyone's a suspect, one with a slapstick murderer and a black cloak and hood who can't really be taken seriously until the knife comes out. But getting to that part can be a slog. Okay, I'm Tom, and that was totally random.